Yeah, don't air out the dirty laundry in front of company. We got a legend on the call today, Preem. Calm down.
Oh, you should have seen us on North Sea. Going back and forth. Chuck enjoyed it.
I can imagine how crazy it is. All right, well, I'm gonna try to keep some type of order. This is Hip Hop Nation, all right? It's not Shade 45 where anything goes.
My former station until I got moved from underground hip hop because y'all don't do it anymore.
I'm still there. If I'm still there, that means we got representation. We playing State of the Union. You know what I'm saying? We making sure that happens. So,
wow, we made it to the mainstream. Right.
Yeah, you right after Young Thug. There you are.
You know, Torae, I think we talked about this before. You know, I play a lot of your music over at Rap Station. We the minor leagues of the big corporations. So we supply the list and everything like that. So
nothing that you involved with is minor league, Chuck D, and I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You know, just for over the years for the support. Tim has told me about you singing my praises, and you know, you're one of the guys that made it possible for me to do what I do. So I'm forever indebted, bro.
Tim's a great guy, man. He's my main guy. I mean, he gives me a lot of Torae records to play, man.
Shout out to Tim. You know what? Let me send him a Cash App right now.
Yeah.
I'll take mine too.
Preem, you want papers? Preem, you want all the papers?
Yeah. All the records I've done for you.
Thank you, DJ Premier. I'm forever grateful for this. We got 5 records
for homie prices.
Definitely. Yep. Listen, Preem, yep. When I get rich next year, I'm coming back to pay. I'm paying the Drake rate when I get back. All right.
Well, Drake swapped out because that's Drake level, so we swapped.
I'm coming. All right. Well, whoever pays the top dollar,
you gotta get the swap status.
I gotta get the swap. I've been trying for 15 years.
Tim has also gladly unwrapped and presented 38 DJ Premier songs in the last year and a half.
Exactly, Preem.
Yeah, man. That's my dude, man. Right now, Preem is the. You can't even call him the hardest working producer. He's insane. He's like it's another galaxy, man.
Nah, his work.
That's what you. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, please. The floor is yours.
No, I mean, I'm saying it's like. It's almost like you look at other people and be like, yo, man, don't give me no fucking grievances, man, because Premier's presented like 50 collaborations, songs, albums, you know, from your songs and Royce the 5'9", Scott. I'm like, what the hell? And so you don't want to hear nothing from nobody else. Oh, man, I'm getting around to it. I don't know, man. It's just like I can't seem to come up with the. I'm like.
Right. Look at Preem.
Yep.
With the indie guys, for the mainstream guys, for the ladies, the gentlemen, you know what I mean? All over the world.
And the babies. I love the babies.
And the babies. And the baby makers. No, all right, let's
Wu-Tang ain't the only one for the kids.
and the MCs with a cane. No big pun intended.
Oh, whatever. All right, let's get it. It's Hip Hop Nation. You on the Wake Up. Your tour guide is here. Boy, oh boy. I don't know if you can hear the excitement in my voice, but I'm super excited about my guest that I have on today. Now, you've been hearing this record. You know, I was super amped when we got it. State of the Union. Shut the fuck up. And I'm glad that it's Hip Hop Nation so I can say it in full. I have Chuck D of the legendary Public Enemy and a special guest, my guy, DJ Premier, is here as well. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Torae? It's a pleasure being up on your show, and it seems like we're not only with kindred spirits, but we're related. You know, over at Rap Station, we play a lot of your music, Torae, throughout the years. So I'm honored to be able to be interviewed by you and the brother over there to the other side, Primo.
That guy.
He is the maestro, man. He's the maestro of a lot of this that works. The quarterback steps in the pocket, throws in the end zone. Simple as that.
Simple as that. No, I'm on it, man.
Torae, thank you for paying me the $500,000 to do this interview with you. I'm split.
Yo, don't tell everybody, yo, because then Rick Ross gonna want his. Cut.
I'm ratting. I've turned states.
Third stage, so you 6'9" now?
I turned I've turned stage just for 20 minutes, and after that, I'm back to normal.
I don't know I don't know if this conversation, how it's going to go, ladies and gentlemen, but I promise you will be entertained. But thank you both for being here, man. Preem is my big bro. You know, we've worked together for years. You know, I consider Preem to be family. And Chuck D, you somebody who, you know, just from me being a kid, listening to hip hop, loving hip hop, somebody who's always inspired me with, first and foremost, your voice, your sound, you know, the sound of the Bomb Squad. The content of the lyrics, the energy of the performances, man. I've learned so much and I've molded so much after just the pathway that you laid out, man. So I appreciate you both for being here. And I appreciate this record, man, State of the Union. Please tell me how this song came about.
Well, I mean, we're stuck in a time, man, where the dude that's at the top of this situation, called the President of the United States, is inappropriate. His duties, his words, his narcissism, his just, I mean, really seriously, done fucked up the world, really. So to break it briefly, so this was actually just an answer, just what's been going on in the last 4 years. That we can't have another 4 years of this. But I'm not type of dude that thinks that people should wait till November.
Right.
I think this cat has been like corrupt since minute one. And I actually was talking to some people. I actually think there's even something that's even further back, not even being a conspiracy, but you know, it's not so much him, a dude that has been playing the shark game from a New York standpoint that I'm familiar with ever since like before even his shenanigans with the Central Park Five. I mean, right. I'm from New York. I'm 60 years old, man. I've just seen this dude's game. But how he pulled a 3-card money game on the United States of America, man. He wasn't pulling it on the world, but basically he was I don't care what the world thinks. He's pulled it on the United States as this dude that was alternative to whatever was before. Right. And then I think people, they just say, F it there, man. They didn't want to go for the monarchy. And that's just this points to the craziness in the voting system in the United States, a 2-party system where it's either this or that. And the dude fell right into the cracks. Mm-hmm. And people was like, well, it was one of those, well, fuck it then votes. But we are affected, man. We're affected to the point where the world is like, what you doing? Primo when you go around the world, they staring at you with the grass gill, like the gas gill, like, yo, like, how you let this happen? Be like, right. Yo, what right. You know what I'm saying? And we affected immediately if you want to just think about yourself. And then you got half the country that's like, yo, this can't happen. So the whole world and half the country, and we stuck with this. So that was just like every time you come on with this State of the Union or whatever, man, seriously, shut the fuck up, man. It's simple. Every time I used to see SOTU, I wondered what that meant, because online. Mm-hmm. I see hash mark SOTU, and the only thing that comes to my mind is STFU. Right. So that was sitting around. I don't know if it was a lyric. I had my head making a Prophets of Rage record, but as a lyricist, and Primo as a lyricist, a person making records, that one thing set off another, and that was right. A statement. And I only could hear Flavor saying that.
and he said it so well. And over the premiere production, which I know for me, it threw me for a loop, but I was pleasantly surprised by it. Did this come about after you guys spent that time on tour together, or was it something you always wanted to do?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I've always wanted to be a part of it, just to at least get a chance to do a PE record. But in this particular circumstance, when we toured, we just had fun on the Gods of Rap tour last year with De La and Enemy Radio and Wu-Tang and me hosting the show. But Chuck just texted me out of the blue and was like, yo, I want to do this joint where this is what I want to chant. And he said that, State of the Union, shut the fuck up, sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. He said, I want to repeat it to, as the hook. I'm going to get Flav to knock that out. And I was like, all right. For some reason, I just started messing around. I said it should sound almost like one of the interludes where it's not real clouded, but it still has that PE type of a style. But I said, I got to make sure I put a noise or a hey or something in it, because they're the kings of that, right? And just it always just comes out of nowhere. And I said, you know what? Let me do it in more of an interlude vibe. And I sent it to him, and he was like, "Yo, I just sent you 3 verses back." I'm like, already?
The longest interlude ever.
Yeah. And then he said, then he had already said that to Flav. Flav FaceTimes me because anytime he FaceTimes me, he goes, "This is a world premiere, world premiere, go premiere." So I got to even prepare for that because that's what he's gonna do. And he even tells me, "Wait a minute, Brent, let me do my thing."
And that's what he does every time. And he's like, "Yo," and you can see he was in the studio. He's like, "Yo, I'm in the lab. Let me introduce you to my engineer." And he's like, "You know, Flav likes to introduce you to everybody."
For
And,
sure.
I'm so proud of that because to get him in the studio to say that to say he got an engineer is a decade that type of thing. So being socially distanced has helped him. Because trust me, if he got socially and ain't distant with nobody, he's busy doing everything else. So this is kind of good. Like, dude, you got to lock into a studio. You got to be in the studio. You got to do it. And nobody, when he comes through, there's nobody's unduplicated, often imitated in this flavor. And I tell you a crazy thing, Preem. I was already like, Preem was in mind, but when Flavor was like, "Yo, man, I'm talking to so-and-so, I'm talking to Premier, but he's not getting back to me with some beats." As I said, "So how many beats do you want from Premier, man? You got to choose one, bro." "Nah, but I'm trying to catch up to him, man." I said, "When the last time you talked to him?" "Well, maybe about 7 or 8 months ago, man. But I'm like, I said, let me hit Preem. And when I hit Preem, I just said, "Preem, just you got one beat, man. You pick the beat. Don't leave it up to Flavor. You pick the beat. You the quarterback. Throw it in the end zone. I catch it. We'll make it happen." And it happened just like that. Primo's a lifer, man.
It's such a dope record. It has that timeless feel. It feels very much PE, obviously content wise. Chuck, you got records that still resonate to this day because you've always spoken about the ills of society. You've always talked about the unfair treatment of our people. You've always, for lack of a better term, talked about fighting the power. So the music is always going to be relevant to what's happening to Black people in this country and marginalized people across the world. Let's get into some music right now. It's Hip Hop Nation. Your tour guide is here. Listen, it's a legendary day, man. Flavor Flav, shout out to him. Shout out to the S1Ws. Shout out to DJ Lord. Shout out to Terminator X.
Professor Griff.
Yes, Professor Griff, of course, man. The whole PE. We got Chuck D here. We got Primo here of the legendary Gangstar. Man, what an amazing day. You on the Wake Up Hip Hop Nation, your tour guide back in the building. Chuck D is here, legend. DJ Premier is here, legend. I'm just a guy working hard trying to, you know what I mean? I just want to get to the place where I could wash these guys' cars something one of these days, man. But
you can do that. You can do that today.
No. We social distancing. I can't do it today.
Yeah, you can. I'm not going to stand next to you.
All right, get away from me and leave the keys. Leave me the keys and leave me. And that's the way it will
I'm not leaving the keys. I'm just going to park it and do it crackhead style. All right? I'll bring the bucket.
Preem is here. Yo, Preem, you just coming off an amazing Gangstar album, man. Talk to me real quick about, I know I had been in the studio with you and around you as you was trying to put the pieces together, and it was like the biggest secret that I had to keep. Talk to me about the response to the Gangstar album and what made you want to do it after all these years.
When he passed, I know how much of he's a recording addict. Like he'll hook up with anybody. You'll be like, "Yo, I just did this song with some guys I just met on the corner at the bodega," and I'm just like, "Dude, you're always just on everybody's shit." But that's how much he loved to rhyme. Like that's Guru. He loved to just rhyme on everything. So I knew when he got with his new business partner, and there was so much evil going on in the circle of their relationship. I was like, "Yo, I know there's a stash of stuff because I know how Guru works. We've been together too long to not know his formula."
Mm-hmm.
So, shout out to Ian Schwartzman, my manager. He was like, "Yo, I know you and dude don't get along and everything. Let me talk to him." He said, and he went to his people and said, "Let's suppose there was some money on the table to get a hand on some unreleased recordings that you might have. Is that a possibility?" He's like, "How much you talking?" He said, "What you got?" And that turned into back and forth.
Ian's like, yo, I think we're close. He said, you know, how much you willing to shell out? I'm like, here's my cap. I'm not going past this amount. He's like, all right, went back and forth, got to a number I was cool with. I said, yo, I'll cut the check tomorrow. Cut the check. But I said, first, I got to hear everything because I know his rhymes. And I want to make sure they're not rhymes I know because I know all his rhymes. Even when he does Ballhead Slick and Ill Kid stuff, I know all his rhymes. And then I know our freestyle stuff that we segue in shows.
Right.
So, because some of them had those on it. But I was like, you know what? He never put beats to these, so I could put a beat to him and just because they only were freestyle they did to go into another song. Boom. Next thing you know, I listened to about 30 tracks. Some of them were just really not good. You know, the rhyming just wasn't up to par to my standards of what I know Gangstar presents. And then once I heard enough to say, well, damn, that's about 26 or give or take 25, I could split this into 2 albums at least.
Word.
Or 3.
Word.
Maybe
Wow.
maybe do 8 songs and another 10 songs, you know, something like that. So that's where I just started formulating. I was like, I just started listening to ones that sounded like, oh, I could flip that. And the first one I did was Bad Name. No, the first one I did was what's the last song on the album? Bless the Mic. That's the first one I did. Once I did that one, I was like, and I had his ashes here because his family gave me some of his ashes when I was on tour with my band, the Batter Band in L.A. One of Guru's relatives was going to Japan the next day, and he's the only one that they trusted that it could have the ashes to present to me because I never met him. He's an much older relative. So when it came to that, they presented to me. I said, you know what? I'm gonna bring his ashes to every session. I'm gonna bless it with sage and do this ritual, which I do, and that's the picture that I bless it
Fire.
with, you know. And I burn the sage in front of the picture, let it burn, and it seems like every time I let the incense go in front of his picture, it seems like he's sucking the smoke in, and it's like it's moving all around his face. And I do that every session. It went before I start anything, and then I just turn on the machine and rock. And then from there, Bad Name was the second one I did. When I heard that one, I'm like, that's the single. Family and Loyalty was the third one that I did. And when I hit Cole and sent it to him, J. Cole was like, yo, don't drop Bad Name first. I know that's your typical traditional Gangstar sound. He said, but use my audience to bring in people that don't know about Gangstar to my audience. And I was like, oh man, but that one's more mellow. And he's like, yo, it doesn't matter. Take advantage of my audience. He said, I'll be getting this many streams. He said, no, your fans are not going to be disappointed because the record's good. And I'm like, all right, you know, I was against it, but Cole made sense, you know.
Yeah.
Saying, shout out to him. And lyrically, what he was saying was so dope, you know what I'm saying? And factual.
Nah, so it came off. It came off as a very dope record and a super dope project. And, you know, just to know that, you know, just the ordeal that you went through and the ritual that you went through to make the record and knowing that there's a possibility for more records, the hip hop fan in me loves that. Chuck, you and Flav, now I definitely want you to clarify for anybody who needs clarity where the relationship is. We see y'all together in the video, on the shows. But some time ago, some months ago, some weeks ago, there was this conversation, there was this controversy. Flavor Flav is out of Public Enemy. He's been fired. Him and Chuck don't rock. Can you please just clarify it for the world?
Well, number one, I'm on the line with 2 very hard-working people, Torae and DJ Premier. Flav's my dude. I tell him all the time. I said, listen, man, in order for this to work, if you want it to work, you got to work. And so to me, outside of the work, you know, it's not tolerated. There's one guy in charge at the end of the day of the work. So it was like, you know, it wasn't so much this flavor, but some of his people got out of pocket. We all have legal people and business people around. And I was like, listen, man, don't put something out there I don't think is right. But it's not Flavor's fault. I think some of his people just had to get in line. And, you know, it was a 48-hour period where before I went to Flavor, I said, you don't let that happen again. But you don't fire a partner, you just stay away from it. And I just said, listen, let's work. And ever since then, it's been great. So I tell you, I put together a graphic novel in all of March that explained the whole scenario, how it was going to play out on April 1st. And He assisted on the Enemy radio record, which was basically that's the sound system of Public Enemy. I mean, it does the benefits, it does the conscious stuff that kind of Public Enemy kind of won't do. Like, for example, if somebody wants a protest march, concert, me, Lord, and Jahi, who has been with the PE situation since 2006, opening up our shows, we would go ahead and be part of that. If Harry Belafonte's Sankofa organization has something, we do that. It's just DJ and MC. It's breaking down to the core. Flavor, it's up to him or whatever he wants to do. But if he wants to do Public Enemy ain't moving without him. So I'm like, it's not going to move without you unless you do the work. And I'm a person like, nobody's going to carry you into a studio. Nobody's going to do anything for you. You got to get up and you got to give at least, well, before in the past, I used to say, give 10%. Now I'm like, dude, you got to come 25%.
Right.
And now he's giving 55%, and I'm scared. So, but I think it's half because of the social distance thing. And he can't hang out. He lives in Vegas, so he know he can't be in the casinos all the time and running. I mean, he burnt Vegas up. Not Vegas didn't burn him up. He burnt Vegas out. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you for real.
If anybody could do it, it's Flavor Flav.
One man burnt Sin City out to the point casinos like, nah, we can't have you come in. So I got, we got to look after him a little bit. So this has helped, and in a weird way, he's in the studio. He's producing a next year album. Primo's also there, looking from the side, saying, making contributions, and like the Marlboro ads. Come to where the flavor is. He's trying to build something around that next year. And in the meantime, we're going to release Nothing's Quick in the Desert 2020, which is State of Union going to be on some other surprises, and Flavor Flav is in full gear. Understand this, man. At the end of the day, Flavor Flav is always got to be somebody I got to look after. If he falls on the ground and people think it's comedy, sometimes it's serious with me. I got to pick him up, dust him off, say, bro, I'm here by your side. So I'm serious in that regard, man. It's like, with The Last Dance of Mike Jordan and all them, he's Scottie Pippen.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Real. I get it.
But yeah, he's Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen.
And both of them needed a vacation.
And
Word up.
Both of them need to be taken care of.
Yep.
Like that. But,
Dennis going to Vegas. Pippen don't want to play the last play of the game.
Yeah.
They don't want to give him the shot.
Well, let me just be Steve Kerr. Let me just shoot out there and pick everybody up at the end of the day.
Yeah, you can do that. So, I mean, I'm just, like I said, I know you a guy, your work ethic. I get your records. I play your records. Primo goes without, he's the greatest producer of all time. I throw that out there.
Facts.
I'm not throwing out there on a bias tip or we are. Listen, man, to do it from the inception in the early 90s to like last week, that counts for something, man. It counts for something. How could you not?
Right.
Yeah,
to be great for so long, it's a testament. It's just a testament to his amazing.
Skyhook. It's Skyhook. Skyhook. Primo. Skyhook. Sky. After a while, people start saying like, "Wow, it's so dope for so long." Sometimes people will take it for a little bit of granted because he's so dope for so long, and we're here to keep putting gas on that pedal, like, yeah, greatest of all time, man. So, we've dealt with a lot of people out there in the world of hip hop throughout many times, but for so long, and to go to his hotel room, Torae, I know you probably saw this witness, to go to his hotel room at 2 a.m. Because I run a joke because he introduced me to Tums, right? So, he'll finish up this story. But to go to his room at 1:53 a.m. and see his room lit up like Star Trek Enterprise, right? It's like a testament to his work ethic. He'll tell you the whole Tums story or whatever. How that came about.
My battery's about to die. 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So,
you know what? We're going to jump back into some music, right? It's Hip Hop Nation. Preem is here, legendary Gangstar. Chuck D is here, legendary Public Enemy. Your tour guide is here. We're going to play some music. We're going to get back into this amazing conversation. Make sure you keep it right here where you need it. It's Hip Hop Nation. It's super duper hip hop today, man. Chuck D, legendary. Public Enemy, crazy. DJ Premier, legendary. Gangstar, crazy. Your tour guide is here, and the conversation has been nothing short of incredible.
Brought to you by African Tums.
Preem, what's the Tum story, Preem?
Chuck has heard of Tums like anybody else, you know, like he said, Rolaids, all of that, but he's never taken one in his entire existence. And for me being a party dude from so young, especially with my wild friends, once I started hanging with some of my Italian friends when I moved to New York, on a hungover day, you know, you wake up with a headache and your stomach's hurt from all the liquor. And my boy, God bless him, Jason Michelini, he passed away a few years ago. He was like, oh man, just take a Tums. He said, wipe the acid, reflux feeling in your stomach. He said, yeah, pop one of these. He said, take like 2. And he said, just drink a lot of water to flush it out. I pop one of those shits, boom. Next thing you know, you back to normal. You got a normal day. So when I tour, I like to keep them on deck because I don't know if I'm gonna hang out on a certain day. And for if I like any Italian food with the pasta with the tomato sauce, tomatoes always give me that acid burn.
Mm-hmm.
But and so do tomatoes. But I still like to eat it. So I already said, have them on deck if need be. Otherwise, I'm always good. So. But on tour, you can't find all that type of stuff in different countries, and we're going to different countries every day. You got to bring it from America. My assistant was flying in 2 days after the tour started, and he was going to fly from New York because he lives in Rhode Island. And I'm like, yo, man, I left my bottle of Tums at my house. Can you go get this from my crib and fly them in with you? Because otherwise I'm going to be bugging without it because I'm used to having them on deck. He's like, yeah, I'll go get them because I bought a big jumbo one. One of the guys that toured with us, my man Lago from Paris, he toured with us. And he was like, well, we have a European version. It's in a little ass bottle. This at least hold you for today. I get to the venue. Chuck telling me about how he's got something he ate, whatever is bothering. He's got the acid burn. I said, oh man, my man got this stuff, but my assistant's flying in tomorrow with the real deal, with the Tums, but I got something that can hold you tonight. I'll hit you after the show. Almost 2 a.m, he's texting me going, yo, you up? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what room you in? He happened to be the room next to me.
Okay.
And I'm hearing like, yeah, you checking out, you can hear the next to the wall. Yeah, you're checking out so-and-so. Sound like somebody's recording or doing interviews. Chuck comes to my room. He's like, oh, man. And he looks and sees I got my drum machine set up and a microphone and computers everywhere because I'm doing pre-shows and this and that to send to get my show done long distance. Here's it set up the same way. And I'm like, yo, take this. But tomorrow, my assistant will have the Tums. I talked to him the next morning at breakfast in the morning in the lobby. He's like, that shit worked. He said, boy, still bring the Tums? I said, yeah. Jeff brings a big jumbo bottle. I left mine at the baseball game for my son 2 days ago.
Shout out to Jalen.
And was like, damn, man. So I literally went home last night, went to bed early, and forgot that I didn't have any and said, kaboom. It's unopened. So
new Tums.
Just like to have them on deck. That bottle like that will get you through months and months and months. But long story short, I felt like a drug dealer. Chuck came to my room. He brought a plastic bag. And I said, just dump a whole chunk in there.
He needed that work.
I said, this will hold you. And if you need any more, I got you the whole tour. He said, nah, this will do. And then he could draw. He drew the cover of the State of the Union artwork. That he drew that with the George Floyd and the cop on his neck, Chavez on his neck.
Very dope.
Trump, he drew that. So, but he's been doing that the whole tour. And he drew me passing him the Tums at the hotel door. Like he has a real drawing of that.
Oh no, I got to see that. I got
even with the little captions, even with the little bubble captions.
Well, you know, like Torae, what you know, like you know, on tour, man, you got nothing but time. I mean, your show is half an hour to an hour to 2 hours max, and you really got 20 hours to play with, whatever. So I always keep not only a journal, but now I keep a illustrated journal, a graphic novel. So I made a graphic novel of last year's God of Rap tour, and I just got to ink it and color it in, but it is interesting. I got some little
Drawings are
comic books and
crazy.
stuff.
That's
So.
amazing.
And
Just
the reason
super
why,
creative.
it
Super
hits me
creative.
so much, because rest in peace, my mom. I just laid her to rest week before last, and she is an art teacher that everybody in our neighborhood will tell you, from Travis Scott's grandmother to all my people I grew up with, to people that are older than my parents. And my mother calls them Pearl Martin Originals. So my last name is Martin. And even when we're putting the casket in the vault to get ready to seal it up, to put it in the ground, the lawyer that handled doing the will for my mother and for my father that did the will, you hear the machine going to put the lid on top of the vault that we bought her,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear him go, man, he said, man, your mother is the truth. He said, I got 3 Pearl Martin Originals.
Wow.
And to even say that, even at the wake, people like, oh, you know, I got 2 Pearl Martin Originals in my house. Even the funeral home had Pearl Martin Originals on the wall
That's real.
at the funeral home.
That's real.
I'm like, yo, is that my mother? He said, yeah. He said she did that probably 15 years ago. And it says Pearl Martin, you know, she always signs it a certain way. And he goes, yeah, man, you know, we got 3 Pearl Martin Originals too.
Amazing.
I go in the bathroom after we're making the arrangements, and I go in the men's bathroom, and while I'm fucking taking a pee, I look up, and there's a painting the mother did for the men's bathroom at
Crazy.
a funeral.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
I mean, omnipresent. Just
shout
in the purest form.
Shout to Singleton Funeral Home. That's family. They're a long legacy of a funeral home. Funeral directors. Their father ran it, and his friend is an Omega Psi Phi frat with my father. But his son Gerard is my man. He's a youngest child, but he runs it now, and he just made everything so great when he did my father's service and dressing my mother properly and making her look presentable, you know, in the casket and everything. That's my dude. And and
I saw you dropped him some merch off the other day.
Yeah, he's the truth, man. And even the service was just amazing, man. Under the circumstances, and you know, it was just a real peaceful exhale to the stresses of what goes on in the world. And I'm at a real peaceful place mentally and everything. I'm back in my training again. I'm working out again, and I'm just back to just banging out. You see everything's ready to go.
You ready? You ready?
Ready to go.
I'm gonna get me a Chris Martin original.
You got a bunch already.
Yo, Preem, let's talk. We don't dwell on the past. We talk about the future right now. My brothers, listen, before I let y'all get out of here, Chuck, I definitely want to talk to you about opening up the BET Awards. That was something that was unexpected, but it was something that was very necessary. And just the lineup and just, you know, how did BET approach you? Talk to me about that process.
Well, you know, I have a long-standing, whatever you want to call it, cause Viacom. I don't think Viacom has been fair to the balance of hip-hop or rap music. However, you know, Ringo Starr just turned 80 years old, I think yesterday or whatever. He had a song called Just a Little Help from My Friends. So that's what that whole BET Fight the Power is about in this climate and in this time right about now. You know, when Questlove says he's interested to do something with Questlove and Black Thought, and those brothers are making history every night.
Right.
And
shout out to Jesse Collins.
Yeah, that's Jesse Collins and Nas and Rhapsody and YG and Jahi, who's with us and stuff like that. So, and then Primo. I mean, so people's like this moment. You don't put no the Chuck D. The D don't stand for diva. I ain't no diva. Somebody come up with a good plan, man. I'm rolling with it, man. I don't want to be leading the plan. I will follow the formation to help get it done, and that's what that happened. It's like it's the moment that dictates your activity, man. It's not like you want to always lead the moment. I like this period where the voices are younger, they're active, they step into the forefront. I believe when you're triple OG, you should be there in the area of counseling, advice, consigliere, like they used to have on The Godfather. you give that advice. But in this country right now, you got old people trying to take leadership positions in everything.
Right.
I'm like, sit your ass down and let somebody lead and you guide them. And I think that goes in our culture. I think that should go in a lot. You already see it in ball because the wheels wear off athletically.
Right.
So the cats take the role of coaches, assistants, all kinds of areas like that. In music and culture, we have our place. Doesn't mean we retire. We could do it till we die. But in the place of guiding culture and the blueprint, you can't make it up. And then when you get in the area of real life, like government administration, that's where the younger energy is everything, man. And older advice and counseling needs to be there to guide it. Well, I'm not saying kick back, but I'm saying after a certain, I believe in a retirement age at 65, man, as far as government administration, man. Like, sit down, cool out, but you gotta train young energy to be leadership. And if you're telling them that they're not leaders at a younger age and you don't give them tools, and all of a sudden they're gonna wake up when they're 51 and be try to get that's a little bit too late, man. You want to encourage, you got to train, encourage, and also you got to love young energy. You just can't look at young energy as being competition. And I think that's the problem that a lot of these areas in this Western world, especially the United States, have, to not be able to use young energy for the forwardness of wherever we call a nation or land that we live in or country or whatever. We go around the world. We go to a lot of different countries. We see some places better than others, better run than others. But this is a big place, man. So younger energy has to lead it. And so that goes, long story short, back even into the BET thing. Good idea. Okay, fine. I'm gonna fit into your good idea. Let's make it happen. And I'm honored that you happen to use a song that we thought was significant. And understand, passing the baton into this fight to power was us passing the baton because we took the baton from the first fight to power. The Isley Brothers record was very significant in the 70s. And Fight the Power 1989 for Do the Right Thing. We made note that, acknowledge that first fight to power, because that first fight to power opened a lot of us up, opened me up as a teenager.
There's no guarantee.
No guarantee.
That's facts. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not been enlightened, entertained, and educated in this conversation, I don't know what you was listening to. Thank you guys so much, man. You guys both mean so much to me, Preem. We got a personal relationship. I love you to death.
I love you, Thor.
Chuck,
love you and hate you at the same time.
I know. That's double love, though. And shout to Master Ace who linked me and Chuck D up, man. And Chuck, just to be able to text you, like, I don't even get giddy about too many things, but when I get a text back from Chuck D, that's a special day, man.
I'm the one that taught Master Ace how to make a beat. I used to go to his actually where I lived for years. I got to give to Master Ace because he is why I moved in the area I lived in for over 18 years.
Absolutely.
Because he threw a party, a cookout, and I was like, where in the hell is this area? And obviously this was before GPS existed, so there was no MapQuest. You just had to be told, look, get off of this.
Make a left here, go there. Right.
And I finally got there, and and he hooked me up with his landlord years ago, and I've moved 3 times in 3 different areas, but they've all been affiliated because of Ace, and I thank Ace. And we always do this funny little thing because we had this Indian landlord, and she used to go, Chris, I'm coming to get the rent, Chris. So whenever he sees me, you'll see him go, Chris, and you'll know why. So there you
crazy, man.
Hey, I'd like to interject that also that what y'all are talking about, even with Master Ace, it's like the hip hop thing is a beautiful fraternity and sorority of its own that doesn't give enough credit for how we are enjoying being in a special class of artists. And this is an art form, man. And I tell people, when you get into understanding how blessed you are to do it, when you're revered by people to do it, man, it's a special thing to have people come on in, but take care of the path that you lay down for them and for people. And it's a wonderful thing because not enough of the good stories go out there. And I think that is, that's why I've always attacked the media, man, is saying, listen, man, you got to tell our good stories, man.
Right.
Yeah,
and we're the ones who tell a story. We are the reporters of what happens in our communities, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Again, man, I appreciate both of you for your contributions to the culture, for what you've done for me personally, and definitely for being on my show here on Hip Hop Nation. We on the wake up, legendary shit. You heard? Cool. Chuck, did they send you some drops?
You know what? I send it to me. I'll give you well, Gab knows my but my numbers, Torae. If you don't have them, I'll knock them out on my own recording system and send them over to you, especially.
Yeah, I'll text it to you right now, and then we can do it.
Same thing with me, because I while I have my mic up, I can knock it out and I can text it to you because
Go in the booth, Preem. We need you in the booth.
Oh yeah. Every now and then you get my voice. I hate my voice, man. So
you have a great voice.
Yo, Preem has the illest voice. Like Preem, you could be a rapper. You could be a rapper, Preem.
I gotta shout. When I shout, I feel good. But when I just talk normal, I feel weird on the mic.
Nah, your voice is great,
bro. Let me tell you, and Preem, like last year, he was testing out his arena stadium voice, which is a whole nother level.
It's a whole other level. Big speakers
now when I'm on stage.
The big speakers voice. My brothers, thank you so much. Y'all be well. Preem, I've been trying to get you on my Live at 5. Chuck, I would like to get you on my Live at 5 as well.
Yes, sir.
I'll be in contact with both of you about making
send that bag and we good.
I'm gonna send you $75.44. I don't know what those numbers mean, but I'm gonna send it to you.
I'll take that.
And we can get you a Live at 5.
Give me one blue ribbon. That's $100. One blue ribbon.
You know, Chuck, I'm part of the Blue Ribbon Committee with the Recording Academy, and one of the things that I wanted to do was to make sure that I got a chance to amplify hip hop artists. And I can't talk to what the Grammys did 20 years ago and 30 years ago when people missed. But one of my first things that I did that I was really proud of was I was the one who got Public Enemy recognized last year.
Well, thank you, Torae.
Nah, for sure. I heard and I know you don't care about no Grammy, but I just,
Listen. Do you know the meaning of that? The meaning of that, who gives a fuck about a goddamn Grammy, came out because back then there was no rap category.
Right.
That's why in the next year you saw we all had a protest on a roof in LA, a press conference, and then when they finally had one, I think Jeff and Will won it.
Fresh Prince,
but it was all of us. All of us was behind it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you should have won it." No, the fact is that we won it. We won it, and that's when it would happen to be a rap hip hop category. So that's where the line came from. It's like, because I was rolling around with running them, and they didn't have. Yeah, they came up Raising Hell and stuff like that was one of the best albums of the year. And they totally got dissed on American Music Awards and Grammys and everything else. Man. Right. I was right there with them, and that's where that line came up out. Who gives a fuck about a goddamn Grammy? So
for sure. Well, again, now we got some new young energy in there, and what I'm gonna do is just constantly make noise for hip hop. You know what I mean? Gangs are next. I'm gonna constantly make noise for hip hop. I'm gonna make sure the pioneers get recognized as well as the artists that are putting out music right now are my contemporaries.
Hey, it's greatly appreciated. Same thing on this side. I'm a serviceman. You know what I'm saying? My job is a serviceman. I'm like, I'm a part of no military, no one religion. So this is my service, man. Hip hop is just the way it is.
That's right.
Absolutely. My brothers, y'all be well, man. Love.
All right.
Love. Peace. Thank you.
Peace.